Hello and welcome to WMLT News. This is our first show this semester. I'm Marilee McAuliffe. Law enforcement in southern West Virginia County is calling for a statewide ban on synthetic marijuana. The product allegedly creates a state of euphoria when smoked and has already put 2 minors from Wyoming County in the hospital. After pressure from law enforcement, local businesses have pulled the product from the shelves. But as Jonathan Klein reports, since the product is still legal, it is still being sold.
Greenhouse Effects is a brand of synthetic marijuana being sold in some small convenience stores and gas stations as incense. The incense, however, is coated with a substance that, when smoked, creates side effects similar to marijuana. But law enforcement officers recognized the dangers of the product after students at a local school got sick after they used the product as more than incense. Wyoming County Sheriff Randall Aliff says that some local businesses voluntarily pulled the product off their shelves.
You talking to me?
But the product is still available at some convenience stores in the county. You just have to ask. Aliff wants to see a statewide ban on the product. After smoking synthetic marijuana, Pineville resident Misty Stives has mixed feelings about the product. Aliff also says that just because this substance is legal, users are not immune to the law. While some lawmakers have promised to watch the issue, no one has stepped up to draft a bill. For WMLT News, I'm Jonathan Klein.
State Mine Safety Director Ron Wooten is targeting summer of 2011 to finish investigating the Upper Big Branch mining disaster. He said this date is a goal and investigators will take as long as they need to determine what caused the mining disaster. They left 29 miners dead on April 5th. Regulators say the blast started with methane gas and was fed by a coal dust. Massey says the blast was likely caused by a crack in the floor that overwhelmed the mine with deadly methane gas. Massey Energy also won approval from the state to start its own investigation into the cause of the disaster. West Virginia's Republican Party is dropping a challenge of the state's general election ballot to concentrate on promoting congressional candidates. Judge Jennifer Bailey rejected the GOP's challenge, ruling last week that Secretary of State Natalie Tennett's decisions to go with the single ballot was legal. Manchin is seeking to fill the remaining 2 years of Senator Byrd's term. He is facing a challenge from Morgantown businessman John Reese. According to Wyoming County Sheriff Randall Aliff, 21 people were transported to 3 area hospitals following an early morning accident Tuesday in Pineville. A bus carrying 18 residents from Mullins Manor in Glen Rogers was traveling towards Salisville around 8:30 a.m. According to Aliff, a passenger car veered left off-center and struck the bus head-on. Aliff said things were very hectic for a short time, and the incident is still under investigation. And now with Concord Minute, Kelly Connors.
Thanks, Marilee. Last week, the rules regarding homecoming elections were discussed in the Student Government Association. Several major changes have taken place. The winners of the homecoming election are now referred as royalty instead of king and queen in order to show goodwill towards same-sex couples. This rule also allows organizations that are running together to have 2 candidates of the same sex. 8.5 by 11-inch posters or flyers are no longer allowed, with the exception of 1 flyer for each set of candidates running for homecoming royalty. This flyer will be displayed behind the voting box. The Gay Straight Alliance had their biggest turnout ever. An estimated 40 people attended the group's first interest meeting. The Gay Straight Alliance meets twice a month. Contact Clifton Jowers for more information. Concord students were recently polled about the new visitation policy in North and South Towers. Students are allowed to have guests in the building overnight starting Thursday night. Most students seem to think that the policy is working and would like to see it become a permanent policy after the trial period. For more information on Concord News, go to cunewspaper.com. That's it for the Concord Minute. I'm Kelly Connors.
Stay tuned to WMLT. We'll be right back. A Florida man has settled his $2 million lawsuit against the McDonald's restaurant in Southwest Virginia that allegedly served him a chicken sandwich that exploded with hot grease. Terms of the settlement entered Friday in Alexandria were not disclosed. The long-running case began in 2005 when carnival operator Frank Sutton of Brooksville, Florida, ordered a fried chicken sandwich at the McDonald's in at the Daniel Boone truck stop in Duffield, Virginia. He said he suffered burns to his mouth and lips when it spewed scalding grease after he bit into it. A judge dismissed the lawsuit in 2008, saying that Sutton should have tested the temperature of his sandwich before he ate it. But a federal appeals court disagreed and sent the case back for a second trial. That trial has been scheduled to start next week. Across the nation, federal funding for higher education has been reduced. But it wasn't just federal cutbacks that caused Concord students to lose work study. Julia Spencer reports that too many mistakes in the financial aid office last year means less money for students this year. Dang.
Students across the country
that was an
depend on work
easy reader
to make ends meet. But this year, some students at Concord were left in the cold when it comes to work study. Debbie Turner, the new director for the Concord University Financial Aid Department, says students are paying the price for the office's mistakes.
The work study got awarded out quite a bit of funds, more funds than what we had available. So we had asked students that if they had accepted the awards but weren't going to use the work study funds, that we were going to, we gave them a deadline and then we were canceling it because there were a lot of students that weren't awarded and we wanted to make those funds available for them.
It is an issue students are scrambling to cope with. Turner says there is a waiting list, and in just 1 hour, 3 students came into the office in hopes of seeing their name at the top of the ladder. The wait list is a way for students to try to get their foot in the door concerning work study money. Jose Schultz, a senior at Concord, was shocked to find out he was denied. Work study has been his primary income since he started at Concord. Turner says this issue won't go away until the fall of 2011, and despite the setback, encourages students to apply for financial aid and work study.
The key is filing the FAFSA as soon as you can. they're available on January 1st of every year, and then we ask that you do the priority deadline of March 1st. So even if the student has to do their FAFSA, if they haven't done their tax returns, they can do estimated numbers and get that on filed in time, and then get it corrected when they do their tax returns. That gets that deadline met, and then we will begin awarding funds during the summer for students, and again, a lot of it's done by date. And there's also a question on the FAFSA if they're interested in work study, so they want to make sure they mark that.
For WMLT News, I'm Julia Spencer in Athens.
And now with this week's Ticket or Leave It, Jamie Lee Reichert.
Welcome to this week's Ticket or Leave It. I'm Jamie Lee Reichert. A new movie that is making a big hit is Easy A. Olive Pendergast, played by Emma Stone, finds herself to be the victim of her school's rumor mill. After telling her best friend a little white lie about losing her virginity, word quickly spreads and Olive sees her life paralleling Hester Prynne's in The Scarlet Letter, which she is currently studying in school. Olive decides to use the rumor mill to her advantage. She sees it as an opportunity to advance her social and financial standing. Her image of being invisible rapidly vanishes as more boys find out what she did. Next thing Olive knows, she is the talk of the school, and she has to find out how she can save her image and happiness before the school's religious fanatic, played by Amanda Bynes, gets her expelled. This movie is filled with hilarious moments that you do not want to miss. I encourage you to go see this movie. If you're looking for a movie to make you jump out of your seat, then I would say that Devil is your ticket. A security guard with a violent past, a thieving elderly woman, a mattress salesman con artist, a former mechanic who was a soldier in the U.S. military during the war in Afghanistan who is now seeking new employment in the building, and a greedy heiress meeting her lawyer, all a group of strangers stuck in an elevator, realize that the devil is with them. This movie is about them trying to find out who they can trust, and who is the devil. The movie will definitely have you scared and hiding your eyes. There are many new movies coming out, so I recommend you going to your local theater and checking out all the new releases. That's it for Ticket or Leave It. Back to you all at the desk.
On Monday, September 27th, the Chili's in Princeton received more business than originally anticipated. The restaurant chain announced that it would donate all the profit from Monday to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital earlier this year. The hospital is located in Memphis, Tennessee, and is mostly known for treating children regardless of their parents' ability to pay. Over the years, Chili's has raised over $30 million for St. Jude's Hospital. Chili's is currently offering another fundraiser online, selling t-shirts and donating all of the net profits to St. Jude's. If you're interested in purchasing one of these t-shirts, visit their website at createpepper.net. That's all for WMLT News. I'm Marilyn McAuliffe. Please tune in again in 2 weeks for more from Concord University. From everyone here at WMLT, have a great day.